What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the On the Pine podcast. 8 long months, and Willow's here.
Thanks,
One of our biggest guests is back for the history-making pod because we're officially back. And Melrose and Hughesy, as always, are here. Welcome, boys.
Good to be back. Huge inclusion in Willow.
I think he's pretty excited.
I'm rapt to be here. This is been a long time coming. Back on the Pine podcast,
and now there's video version.
Yep.
Not just so we get to get the new
all
trim,
all the new gear since
all the gear, no idea, as I like to say. Yeah. So Willow's got the new trim going.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
I do like it.
I've had very mixed feedback. I rolled into footy this morning and a few of the boys are like, "You look like an Irishman off Geordie Shore." I'm like, okay.
I don't think you want that, do you? That's not the go-to look.
And I was like, I feel good in it, so that's all that matters.
You're a bit like Melrose when he first got that first trim post lockdown, and he went from like the big beard and the hair was all long. I'd never seen it like that before, and then all of a sudden he's back to what he is now, which is very clean shaven, hair nicely combed over.
Yeah, look, we let it go. A real caveman look. I'll be honest with you, I was surprised that when I did get it cut and did have a shave, it was like, shit, I feel like myself again.
Yeah. Did you just feel lost? Did you just feel you just weren't quite there?
Well, people would say, oh, why haven't you had a shave? What's going on here? And it was sort of like one of those things where you're like, well, I'm not going anywhere, so.
No reason to shave.
Yeah.
A bit of Hughesy's got the rougher look, but I like it. I can't imagine you without it now, Hughesy.
Yeah, I've had it for a while, so I got to get the haircut one day. But I know once I do it, that's it. I'll short for the rest of my life.
It's not coming back. Can you take the hair out for us, or is that too
long?
That's all I've ever known you, Hughesy, is with long mop.
No, I used to be a short-haired guy, but now I've just gotten lazy.
Just let yourself go.
It's too long. It's Jesus like I don't like it out.
It's a real Tamworth look though. Like it's something I'd expect from someone up on a Tamworth farm.
No. I get teased back in Tamworth.
I was going to say, for farmers, I don't reckon the long hair's a go because you'd be hot and flustered pretty easy.
Yeah.
Melrose, we have a saying in this house, don't we, Willow, that if your room's messy, your life's in tatters. I think Melrose had that little thing going with the haircut and the and the no trim on the beard. Was the life in tatters, Melrose? Is that what it represented?
I was going to say my bedroom's definitely not clean. It's a shambles. So I was going to say you've uncovered something there, but it's just a very weird sort of time. As I was saying to Willa and Matt before we came on, like just a strange sort of, I guess, 8 months of the year.
Very, very strange. It was grim down here, that was for sure. You had it a little bit better, Willow, but you were obviously living out of a suitcase. You take the pros with the cons.
Good with the bad,
Yeah. Hughesy was the essential worker on the front line.
Putting himself out there.
Mate, there's going to be history classes down the road in high school, and the teachers will be saying supermarket workers were the be-all and end-all, and that can be you. Kids will come home and say, Dad, you know that supermarket workers were the best workers. And you'll say, son,
someone had to restock the toilet paper.
There needs to be a parade or a day for us.
Woolies Appreciation Day.
Yeah.
I played a small part. I was in there for probably 2 months back in the B-Rat.
Yeah, it was a tough 2 months though. It was during the dark times though. So
yeah. So
you can join in on the parade.
I understand your feeling a little bit. I get it. Now, Willow, the hub. In a little sentence, like, can you describe it? What was it like?
I'll say it was some of the best times I've had. And then I reckon, like, just the fact that I was living in a hotel room, like, I don't know if you've done it for very long, but you get to a stage where you're sort of sick of that. But then at the same time, we had so much going for us, and we had, like, everything given to us. We didn't pay a cent while we were up there. So we're pretty lucky on all that front. And, they were good hotels, so good pools, and you're around footy mates, so it's always going to be a good time.
I'll never forget, boys. I don't know if you saw, but get the video sent through from Willa on Instagram, and they've moved hotels again. And the hotel previous, he wasn't hugely around some of the setup in his room, but and then all of a sudden, a few hours later, they're in this different hotel. in Perth. I reckon it was. This is early hub days.
We'd maybe moved 2 or 3 times. I reckon,
you've gone to like Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Perth.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Maybe 2 hotels in Gold Coast, and then we'd shipped over to Perth.
And he's walked in and he sent the lobby, and it's Crown, I think, over there.
Yeah,
and
there's a story behind this. So.
Okay, we'll go to that in a sec. But boy, the lobby was just the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Like,
it was.
This is unbelievable. It was just like bright lights, really fancy. Then the room was even better.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's still probably one of the better hotels I've ever been in. Yeah, Crown Perth.
So the story behind that though.
Yeah, the story. So we'd moved. So we'd just done our 2 weeks quarantine. So like we weren't allowed out, just in the hotel room.
Yep. In Perth.
Yeah, in Perth. It was out at one of the nice golf courses. I've actually forgotten it. And we're there for our 2 weeks, and we're moving into Novotel, and sort of when we're in the hub, like the vibe, like. Everyone builds up the next hotel that you're going to. So yeah, everyone's like, oh, the next one we're going to is like, this will be the one.
Yeah.
And not that you're not happy with what you got, but like it just gets built up through all the like team managers and all of that. And then we rock up at this Novotel, and it's like, I won't say it was shit, but it was probably below average from what we'd had. And all the boys are sitting there, and then we get down there for like our first meal, and everyone's like, nah, fuck, we're not complaining. We're all happy. And then about like maybe 2 hours in, is it Qatar, the airway that goes from like Bali, and then all of a sudden these like Qatar air hosts start rolling in, and all the boys are like, what are they doing here? Like saying to all the team managers, like, and then
a chance.
Like everyone just build it up. And then, like 2 hours later, Lloydie through our WhatsApp, like, radio boys, pack your bags. We're off.
We're gone.
Couldn't believe it.
That's because it wouldn't be allowed. Like the AFL wouldn't be happy with that.
It was a legitimate like
issue. Yeah, because they're flying from city to city.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gil wouldn't be happy with that. No, I can't imagine.
Big fella, he wouldn't have been happy at all.
So what was the good of hub life? What was the good parts of it?
Clearly I'd say the weather, like where you got 30 plus every day, pools, and then I'd just say like the camaraderie of the group. Like you go like literally every night we'd go from having dinner. So you do your training throughout the day and whatever, and it's a pretty normal day for you. And then you go and have your dinner, and then literally everyone just ships straight from the dinner room straight down to this massive big room. It's like FIFA, table tennis, just all this shit, and the boys would just go hard at it for like And then like before you knew it, it was like 9:30, and you're like, fuck, I need to go to bed here. We're gonna get up and train in the morning.
I've actually got a job to do while I'm up
here. Everyone was forgetting that. But, that was some of the better things, and I think obviously the water, not that I get too involved with it, but the fact that you just, as we say, Nash, you just gathering the vibes off the vibes off the water, and the boys got the music cranking.
That's a great little gateway into the vibe chat I want to have. So
and cards actually, Nashy.
Cards
got us through.
Like,
playing P's and A's.
Yeah,
you don't know.
I don't think I know these.
No.
Yeah, what's that? Go fish.
Go fish. So, boys, this is more of a Willa and Ollie chat question to you two. How important are the good vibes in life, in everything? So, like, we're talking, our biggest thing at the moment is going for a walk to get a coffee. I would say it's more than 50% about the vibe of going to get the coffee and the enjoyment of like being around the shop and the people and how busy it is than actually what you're getting, which is the coffee. Melrose, you're a big coffee man, so give me your take on that. It's the vibe of the experience for me that gets me.
Correct.
Yeah, well, I mean, like obviously a lot of the time you'll go and meet someone for a coffee. So the idea is you're catching up with that person, you're having a chat, you're drinking the coffee, but like, yeah, as you say, like it's more about seeing the person than the actual drink. But I feel like the coffee has to be good though, otherwise it just sort of brings the whole experience down.
Yeah.
Well, because
then you would get stuck, no doubt, talking about how shit the coffee was.
Yeah. And that's bad vibes.
That's bad vibes. We don't like that. So Willa and I are pretty lucky. We've got John Gorilla down the road, the local. I've shared it out a few times on Instagram because it is very, very good. So the vibes are seriously high at Johnny Gorilla. Yeah. What are the vibes like at your local Marrows with the best coffee?
Where I go to Huff. It's actually a bagel place, but they do a very good coffee. So yeah, I mean especially during lockdown, like the lines outside on the footpath were massive. Because you weren't allowed in the store, so you'd have to go up to the door, order, and then you'd go to the window. But it was always up and about, which is, as you say, the vibes are good. It's a good experience.
Hughesy, you've remained very quiet over there through this chat.
Just taking it all in. Nah, I'm not a big coffee drinker. I tend to go for the more chocolate milk options. But no,
not even a hot chocolate.
We've got a little cafe up at Uni Hill where we've taken the dog down to a few times. You get the puppuccino for the puppy and nice warm hot chocolate. Goes all right. Good vibes there.
What's in a puppuccino?
I think it's just like frothed milk that dogs can drink.
Yeah, right.
So does that involve a little story on the puppy dog's Instagram as well?
Yeah, she's got an Instagram, which Melrose isn't happy about. But yeah,
Melrose hates the puppy dog Instagram.
Well, they're shocking. Like a dog should not have an Instagram. Same as a rabbit or a cat or a fish. They should just not be there.
Well, Will, our housemate, he waited all of maybe one day before he had the Instagram up.
Yeah,
one day.
I think I got a follow before I met the dog.
Yeah, I think we all did. Well, so speaking of the vibe, so you had one of the parts of the hub was free coffee.
Yeah.
Was it good vibes coming from the shop, or was it pretty like, it was just there and it was just rock up, get it and get out?
It was
I felt like that.
Yeah, it wasn't. You're not hanging around for the vibes, and we were there.
Which we don't love.
Yeah, nah. So you'd literally line up, and you were either getting it right before you were going to brekkie, or you were getting it before you were like going on a bus to training or do something like that. And you and everyone's like, I don't know if you understand a footy club, but everyone, like, you just don't want to be late, or everyone will just hammer you.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, it'll be your job to carry 15 coffees to the backline group for the next meeting if you're late or something. So it's just like, it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Not that obviously there you're going to pay for the coffees, but
it
was still
just the ordeal.
Yeah.
The ordeal.
But yeah, and then like you're lining up with other teams, and it's just like
the awkwardness.
Not John Gorilla
vibes. No. What do you say, Hughie?
Did you show up late at all, Willa? Have to carry all the coffees?
Nah, I reckon in my first few years I definitely did, and then I don't think I have for a while. Now I seem to be the one enforcing a bit more. Not
was
that
there nah. Was there a Jimmy Butler type operation going on with the barber?
What is Jimmy Butler, the coffee or the barber?
Was he? Yeah.
He was the coffee.
I think it was the coffee. Yeah.
He was selling cups of coffee for $20.
Yeah,
a pop.
Yeah. No, a bit out of my price. That'll set me broke in a week. But on the haircut, like Simo got around a bit.
He was a bit, he gave you one, didn't he?
Yeah, he gave me one. And then John Barker, he was like, he got right into it, yeah.
Johnny Barker?
Yeah.
On the haircut?
Midfield coach, yeah. Loves it, loved it too. Took pride in it.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, Simo's like, I'm happy to do it, but I'm not going to go asking blokes if they want a haircut.
But Johnny was on the front foot.
Yep. Saying, like, Friday before a Saturday game, like, I'll be set up from 2 to 4 o'clock. Come in, boys. Yeah.
Johnny Barker. Yeah. That's a random
and there
flex.
would have been some, like, there was some, I don't know if you remember Matt Cottrell's. Like, there was some seriously rude lids going around there for a while.
Yeah.
And, like, John Barker's just taking requests, whatever you want. He'll do them.
Was the go-to the dusty? I felt the dusty. Like, the simple sides, leave a bit on the back.
Yeah. The sort of slim mohawk
type deal.
Yeah. That, and then obviously the mullet was running pretty hot there for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was there, you say that there was other teams with you in the resorts and hotels. Was there, like in the NBA, in Disneyland, it sort of seemed as though they were mingling between teams. Was there much of that, or was it pretty kept to yourself?
Yes and no. Like at the coffee shops and like coffee vans, should I say, and like dinners and that. Like every now and then you'd cross paths, but for the most part, like we'd have our own section and we'd have our own coffee van, or not a coffee van, but we'd have our own like dinner meals area, games room, all that sort of. They always tried to design it so that you wouldn't cross paths, but you always wouldn't. Then obviously the blokes, you have a chat with, but it was, I don't know, it wasn't like blokes were going around going to each other's rooms from other teams and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
like
you
like when I see, I don't know who it would have been. I don't know, from another team. Like if I walk past Daniel Rowley or whatever, I'd be there chatting with him and maybe have half my coffee with him. But it wasn't.
Not like a school camp ordeal where you're going to each other's rooms.
Yeah, you're not trying to
seek it out.
Really going out of the way. I don't think.
But who because you were with a couple of teams for like most of the period, weren't you? Like you were with the same sort of teams mostly, weren't you?
Yeah. So we had, I think we first had Bulldogs, and then North Melbourne, I think, came a bit later. So that was our first. That was the Mercure in Gold Coast. And then I reckon we were there. I don't know. I can't remember the exact times that we were there. And then we shipped off to Perth. So we're there by ourselves, just playing the Perth teams.
Yeah.
Then we came back and we were with Essendon Bulldogs again, and then Richmond had a bit of a funny setup though. They had heart, so they had their all the blokes that were single and didn't have anyone come up. They all went in one hotel room, and then all families and blokes that had partners come into the one with us.
Really?
So it was weird. And then they'd just like obviously leave the families and like that had their partners with them. They'd just leave the hub and go to training, and obviously had their own cars and stuff.
Yeah.
But then they thought that it was working, and obviously did work. But they had it separated.
Is that, did other teams do that?
No, that was the only team to do it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder because like you had a few blokes that had families up there.
Yeah.
But I wonder if maybe it's just the age demographic that's had more families because there's more blokes.
Yeah.
Sort of 30 or above.
But it wasn't like, I remember seeing I think it was, I can't remember. Yeah, like Jack Higgins had his partner up, and I remember like seeing them and thinking like he's just walking around with her all the time. Like
yeah,
that was. So yeah, that would have been different, but it obviously worked, and that was the other thing that I really enjoyed. Like Levi had his little boys up there, and
I remember seeing him when I dropped you off,
and just like and Merv had Max up there, so it was like. It was really good. Like you would probably never get close to those kids or families, like if it wasn't
as much as you would seeing them every day.
Them there every day. Like you're going to see them around the footy club a little bit, but So that was another good thing, and obviously the kids bring vibes, Nashi, which we love.
The boys could have the worst loss in club history, and the kids would still be bringing the vibes. And whether you want them or not, they're there to have.
Yeah, that's a fact. I reckon. Funny you say that, but I've had a lot of bad losses. Good batter in between, but it's the reality of it. And I remember back in a few of Bolts' days, we'd be there playing, and then Bolts has got a little kid, Ned, and like he'd be running around just like decking kids and thinking it was the best day of his life in the rooms after games. Little as you know, everyone's just.
Literally doesn't know that his dad's on the fucking chopping block. And if the kid doesn't chill out a little bit, his dad might get the sack in a bit.
Don't blame it on me.
I'm not blaming it on the kid, but that's the honest truth, isn't it?
No. That's all incorrect. No. And now, obviously, Teague's got Jack as well. So, and they all run around like playing mad ticky, like going hard at it, that's sweating and everything.
That was the dream as a kid, like having a dad that was involved in a footy club, and you could just be around the players, but then kid central too.
Yeah. And even like we have like family days, and sometimes like even arvos at footy where partners can't look after kids or whatever, and they're sometimes in there and just like they're loving it, running around like playing footy, tackling each other.
What about Eddie Betts has got like 5 kids, hasn't he?
Yeah, actually they were. Yeah.
You got another one coming?
Has he got 4, I
Yeah.
think, and then maybe a 5th
Yeah.
one coming?
Yeah, he did. Oh, late.
They came later,
Yeah,
didn't they?
real late, but for the most part,
Mm.
they didn't. But
Um,
yeah, they're
His hands would be
got
full.
plenty of energy.
I was gonna
Kids,
say I've seen some stories of them, and they're helpful leather.
Yeah.
Those kids.
Would you do it again, the hub life, or would you sort of much prefer? Or obviously, you prefer.
Oh,
Could you hack it again? Like,
Yeah.
because if it has to happen again, like, is it
yeah,
doable?
100%. I'm way more for it now than I would have been if I like when I first knew I was going. I was like, how's this going to go, sort of thing. And then like now, I'll be there in a heartbeat.
Yeah. So I reckon, like, I know you love your own bed, and just like your own setting.
Yeah.
That was one thing I was like not worried about. But I was like, I'll see how it goes with him. That's definitely what I miss most. Yeah. Did you
not have my own room and bed? Like,
and even though you
like set up a hotel room, but you can't.
Even though it's like it's your room, but you're living out of a suitcase.
Yeah.
Like it's
100% for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually the worst part of, like, you don't realize when you're on holiday. Melrose, I remember we talked about it with your trip to Europe. You don't realize like how much you miss having like a cupboard and your own bed and stuff until we sort of near the end of the holiday, and you're like, I need to be in my own setting.
I was going to say, like, because I was going 8 weeks, so obviously Willer and all the AFL boys were going longer than 8 weeks in the end. But I feel like by the end of it, you love the trip, you love being away and all that. But yeah, by the end of the 8 weeks, it was very much like, all right, I'm ready to sort of get out of the suitcase and get back home.
Yeah.
So yeah, especially with Willer and the rest of the comp. I remember when they first went, it was only meant to be for a few weeks, and ended up being the whole season. So.
Well, they said 4. They said 4 weeks, I reckon.
Yeah.
With the potential of it being like 6.
Yeah. I remember them saying like 35 days or something was the max that we were going to be away, and then like.
Didn't you say that was they said that was the max that they could keep you there?
Keep you there. Like the PA had told us, like, 35. So I said to everyone, like, said to Britt, everyone, I was like, 35 days, like, I'll be back. Like, told family, everyone. And then it was just like, got dragged out. And after like, I won't say you were counting down, but you had it in the back of your head. You're like, all right, I'm home here. And then all of a sudden it'd just be like, all right, new change of plans, new change of plans.
Did they announce anything? Like say, oh, we're staying longer than 35 days, or did they just sort of like
it went from that to like we're staying for another 4 weeks, and then it was like, oh, we're going to Perth, and it was just like, so one thing you definitely learned like was by the end of it, like anything could have happened to us and no one would have cared. Like we were that adaptable.
I feel like that's what it got to,
which is
Was it hard to like keep focus, like once you guys knew you couldn't play finals, like as a club, to like retain that focus while being away, and knowing that you just want to get back, you just want to finish the year? How do you sort of keep the focus?
We were pretty lucky though. We were always like we had a really bad patch sort of crucially right when we didn't need to, but we were always in the hunt there. And then I think we won. Did we win? I think we won a few late ones. And we sort of had that game against Collingwood that we needed to win, and if we won, we're going to be a good look at it. And then then I reckon even our second last game,
there was still that slight mathematical chance.
So I think it really was only the Brisbane game at the end of the year where we sort of knew indefinitely that we wouldn't be there. But I don't know. I never really got that phase, but then again, I didn't have my whole family up there, and I didn't have as many responsibilities back here as probably other people do. But
although you lost that last game, it was probably one of your best performances, I reckon, of the year. Like as a group, like you took it right up to Brisbane. So
that was Brisbane were at their peak then. They were entering finals, had barely left Brisbane for the year. They were humming at that point.
They hardly had. Oh, maybe I reckon they were maybe missing Bez, but they had like a full
list. Yeah.
So
you were going to say something, Hughesy?
Pretty dangerous.
Oh, no, I was going to say, like, you saw the families in your team. How was it? It was obviously harder on them rather than. It was obviously hard for you being younger, but it would have been harder for them. Do you reckon, with family and all the responsibilities
Yeah,
So how did-
100%. And obviously, like the partners have work as well a lot of the time, so they'll work and sort of throughout the day and trying to manage kids and do all that as well. So, but I think by the end of it, to be honest, like I don't know, definitely I wouldn't say it'd be better for them, but like the kids like be out playing with us and just like things that would never ever happen, just always happening, I guess. And the club and Lil and we've got a lot of staff, so staff help out wherever they can, and they had like kids playrooms, everything. So that, and then I think by the end of it, they had like schools set up and
Really? So
it was
older kids.
Yeah, it was pretty good. They were very well looked after. Yeah.
Do you reckon that's put you closer, like giving you a closer bond with your teammates going to next year?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. And as you would know, like you don't hang out with every bloke in the footy list, and you're not probably best mates with everyone, but like after being through that, like you connect with different people in different ways. So you're always going to be better off for it.
That's what another thing I would have noticed is that you'd hang out with blokes you wouldn't usually hang out with a lot more often because you're sort of, I don't know, not that you're forced to, but you're just around each other.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
So much.
And not even that you have to, like you want to.
And you probably you understand blokes a bit more.
Yeah.
And you find out more about them straight away.
Yeah. 100%. And like a lot of the time you don't see how a person lives away from footy, whereas you get that. Yeah. And like some people are completely different at a footy club to what they are away from it.
Yeah.
So it was good in that sense to see all the different sides of it, and definitely brought us closer. That's for sure.
Speaking of different sides of blokes, when Matty Cottrell first got drafted, and I saw him floating around, I thought he looks very shy. He looks like he's a pretty level-headed bloke. Like went the hard way into the league. But he showed me a different side that I didn't know was there.
Hit the ground running, didn't he?
He's hit the ground running, and then he's got like a whip in the ass or something, and he's just
off and gone. Literally, he can run too. So
yeah, I'd say he can seriously run, the big fella.
But
I'm a big TikToker.
You are.
His TikTokers are good.
Got you covered though.
Yeah, I know. He's just so gangly. When he dances, his limbs are so long and skinny,
and he can like dance.
Yeah,
I don't know his pre-footy days, but I think he's been with you guys.
So what's he like? Because he puts on a bit of, does he put on a bit of a persona when he's with how he carries on, or is he like that?
Nah,
all the time.
Nah, he's not. He's not like that all the time. Yeah,
he's
got. I think it's like he's got a funny side where he's trying to be funny, and then I reckon. So he does it to take the piss, but like secretly, I reckon he just loves it. Actually loves doing that sort of shit.
Yeah, I can see that.
But no, he's like he's modest and like I won't say quiet, but like he's not going to be out there and being the loudest in every conversation. Yeah, he just he'll just bob up with something hilarious. Like
he's not Greek freaking it.
Nah,
every chance he gets, which I know Melrose loved. You loved it, didn't you, Melrose?
And I hated it.
Was that against the Swans? When did he do it?
Actually, I didn't help it was against Sydney as well.
I mean, like if it was any other team, I would have backed it. But I'm just sitting there. I watched the whole game. He'd done nothing, and then he goes and kicks the winning goal and gets gone.
How scared were you when you saw the close up of that after the game?
Of Cottrell?
I was scared.
He
was just looking through the camera.
It was like he was possessed. Yeah, we were watching the game, Jerv and I, and it took Melrose all of 2 minutes to jump on the blower and be like, "Fuck that Cottrell. What's he celebrating like that for? He's done nothing all game. Swans have lost. Lost the unlosable."
Straight on the old
Mate, honestly, like I was, good on him for kicking the goal, but I'm thinking like as soon as he kicked it, it was one of those things like, who are you? He's done the Greek celebration. But who are you?
Yeah, I'll get that quite a bit.
Cottrell's the kind of guy that, I don't know, you'd see him out and about at night having a few beers, and I just don't know what wouldn't know what you're going to get from him on any particular night. I reckon dance floor wise.
Yeah, Yeah,
know,
I'll be the same.
drink
I don't
wise.
know what I was going to get either.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Matt Cottrell though.
yeah. Speaking of nights out, Melrose, you indulged in a few on the weekend, a few cordials.
Did indulge in a few on Saturday night, so it was a good night.
Where did you wander out to, mate?
Wander out.
Head out to the SB.
The SB. Oh, don't mention the SB.
Actually, it's your.
Yeah, don't bring up.
That's your next favourite spot.
Other than John Griller coffee, it's John Griller coffee in the morning, SB at night. Pretty much. Good vibes at both places.
Are you around the SB though now, Ollie?
I've always been around the SB.
Oh, but you often said though it's too far.
Yeah, it is too far. It's like an $85 Uber home. But if Willa comes with me, we can usually split an Uber. Still 45 each,
Yeah.
bit much.
Yeah,
$40 each. But
we cop it.
cop
Cop it for the SB.
because the vibe, it goes from the vibes of the SB on a Saturday night to the depressing state of affairs on the Sunday.
It's I reckon it's the best in town on a Saturday night when it's up and about.
Yeah. I wanted to go to this conversation because yesterday I've come home. I've been camping on Saturday night. So you know what you're like after you've been camping. You stink, like you just reek. You haven't showered or anything yet. You get back. It's like midday. Walk in the house. Willow's back from Ararat. He's had a couple of beveraginos with the friends down Ararat. Jerv and Tisha back from their winery the night before, and none of us really spoke for the solid 8 hours there in the middle of the day. Will was watching the cricket. I had a nap on the couch. Jerv and Tisha upstairs, not to be seen.
Yeah.
Can you boys, reminisce with me there? Have you got some stories lately of some shady Sundays?
I feel like the Sundays. If you've had a big one Saturday night, the Sundays very much as you say, like nothing's really said. Really sit around, not much noise. Like it's
Yeah, I
minimal.
literally reckon I went the whole Australian innings and speak to anyone. And then I walked out. I thought, I better have a feed here. And I walk out and you're snoring on the couch.
Because I tried to be social. So I've gone up to Will's room. I thought I'll go play some F1 with Will. Had my race and then jumped on his bed to watch him race and was like falling asleep as I'm watching. I said, mate, I've got to go. I've got to get out of here. So I had a nap on the couch. Yeah. What about you, Hughesy? Give us something good in this area.
Nothing that good, Nashy. Just a few quiet Netflix watching days on the Sunday after a few beers. Haven't had that too many. So just easing back into it. Gotta get my fitness back up.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, mate, you've got the missus that can sort of perk you up a little bit, get you going, get you out for a walk. You got the puppy. The puppy dog's never going to let you sleep in either.
Bit of motivation. Yeah, that's probably the good thing about that.
Yeah.
Got to take Slinky for a walk. So.
Get an Instagram story up.
Get to the dog park. Get the vibes.
Get to the dog park.
What about, speaking of big weeks and stuff, what about Cam Munster and some of those boys' performances?
He's had a very good go, hasn't he?
The Origin as well just backed it up. He looked half asleep in some of the interviews and photos.
Yeah.
No,
that one photo that was
team photo. Oh, he actually spoke about it and he said, it's not just like a bad photo. He was actually really hungover. Like he was in a bad way. And he said he tried to get the photo day moved because he's like, mate, I can't do it. Like, but then they said, no, it'll be quick. And apparently it was like a couple hour ordeal to get all the different photos you need to get done and stuff. Like, with team photos. Like, it seems like a long day.
Yeah.
But,
pretty stiff to win a flag though, and then have your celebrations cut short. So you have to go play Origin.
Yeah.
Is it true that he texted the coach of Origin and said, can I party for an extra couple of days in Byron?
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah.
You love to see that.
Yeah, it's good.
That's a big flex from the big fella. And he was good in that third game.
Mate.
Yeah.
That
This
was
is one of the best tries I've ever seen.
It was like he was playing footy. He was kicking it that often and looking seriously dangerous.
And he's got he doesn't look like lightning fast, or you wouldn't picture him to have a lethal step.
No, you wouldn't.
He's just got all of it.
I saw some photos of him and I almost thought, are you carrying a little bit?
Yeah. Oh,
Like-
yeah. Not even that. But he just looks
When he
like-
had his shirt off, I was like, maybe that's just the way he's built, but
just doesn't look fast. When I
No.
look at him, I'm like, there's no speed there.
no.
He's
But he's-
packing it.
He's one of the most. Well, I'm not a huge rugby league fan. You're more knowledgeable than I am, Husey. He's one of the most sort of dynamic movers in the league, isn't he?
He's one of the what? Sorry, it cut out.
He's one of the most dynamic sort of movers in the league, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he's the line breaker.
Yeah, he's pretty agile. Like, he's a bit of an X factor.
Mm.
Yeah, like I didn't realise he was that quick because I haven't been watching as much rugby league these days. But yeah, he's got a lot. He doesn't look quick, like you said.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever looked at his GPS stuff? I don't know. When I watch him play, he looks quick.
Yeah.
I don't know. If he
I'd love to see the
actually
numbers.
translates, Yeah.
Maybe he's one of those guys. It's the eye test. Maybe the stats don't
Yeah.
show everything, but when you watch him play, your impact is
Oh, he's
not recorded.
massive impact.
Now I thought real quick. We haven't chatted about the season yet. I thought I'd ask you real quick. How did you see the year individually and team wise?
Well, team wise was obviously a bit disappointing towards the end. I thought definitely thought all year we had the capabilities of maybe sneaking in there. That wasn't to be, obviously, and it was those patches, wasn't it, throughout the whole season that probably stood out to everyone and stood out to us as a playing group. But I definitely think we learned a lot from it, and we took step forward. But yeah, in saying that, now we've obviously got good pickups, and I think we should be striving and
Around the mark.
yeah, for next year, I would have thought. Then individually, I don't know. I started very slow. That'd be probably an understatement, but it was good to get in and get some games under my belt again, and then got a little bit better towards the end of it. But I wouldn't say it was a overly successful year, but coming off sort of what I had and injuries and where I was at to get
Just good to be back on the park.
yeah, exactly. So now I say that, and I'd probably put the year as a success for me because from where I was, but probably footy wise, I feel like I've got a lot there to offer still, and but the main thing for me was that I got through a year and the body was good, and obviously they rewarded me with a contract, so that was the main thing going into the year, I thought, and and now I'm feeling really good and got a good pre-season ahead of me, hopefully to translate into a good year.
It was a shocking year to be. It was a shocking year to have a contract year.
Yeah,
COVID and stuff, and did they put off talks? They put off talks for ages, didn't they? They said you can't have those chats. Or is that what I heard?
Yeah, I don't know. I was in talks. I don't know. I won't say maybe halfway through the year, but sort of halfway to the back end. But I don't know if that was actually a thing that
I
said you couldn't.
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah, I remember that, seeing something like that.
Yeah,
But,
wasn't sure if it was an actual thing or not, but because the clubs wouldn't have really. They were probably in the dark as much as you guys were about money,
of course. And they call it the TPP, so total player payments. But and then I think all the contracts sort of signed throughout that time just had a clause thing in it to say whatever happens with the total player payment, it can affect it. There was a whole heap of different stuff in it, and that's what we have managers for.
I was going to say that's just why I'm glad I'm not a player manager just for this year.
It's good to get it done, and management did well, so it's good.
Speaking of your year, I noticed later in the year it seemed as though you played a bit further up the grounds, especially against Brisbane. I might be wrong, but just from what it looked like, especially against the Lions, you seem to be up on the wing a bit more. Is that what you prefer, or do you rather play down back?
Nah, I do, to be honest. So later, towards the end of the year, so I had probably, 4 or 5 games there where they'd give me, every now and then they'd send me up for a 5-minute burst sort of thing, depending on sort of what had happened with our mids, etc. I got up there and really enjoyed it and had a few good sort of, passages out of stoppages, and and then I sort of think it must have been in the back of their head a little bit, and then last game, Teague just said to me, he said, "What do I reckon? I'm going to play you on the wing this week." So yeah, and then it was one of my better games of the year, and it just, I don't know how to explain it, but it just felt like more natural to me, and like back when I was sort of playing for Ararat, Rebels, like you're not as much structure behind the ball, like you could do this, do that, kind of, and you're not
bit more freedom.
Like I'm not dictated to where my opponent takes me. Like I'm essentially going where I want to go, and I can, I don't know, play the game a lot more than you would if, say, a halfback, following.
You've always got to. I feel like the halfback, you've always got to. You've always got a, I don't know, like a level, like a roof on sort of what you can do, sort of thing. Like you can. There's obviously a lot you can do in that space, but really what it comes down to is you have to defend. And you're following your man for the most part.
Especially a halfback, where the way we play, sort of. So ours, like, we're just defend. That's like what we're sort of told to do, I guess, which is our job. And then whereas you're playing on a wing, like you're defending, like you may be covering. I'm getting too deep into footy.
No, it's good. I like it.
So like a winger, you'd say you'd have to like cover an outlet. So that's like probably the most defensive thing you do, other than sweep a stoppage. Whereas a halfback, like essentially dictated to by a player.
Yeah. So, then you got to help your
but even then it's like all right, we want to start generating some run, so you go for your run or you do whatever and get aggressive, and then it's like shit,
turnover
and it's like defend again, which is still your primary role. So, but the wing, I loved it. So I'm hoping this year, so I'll have a few chats early on and see how we go.
We've been calling for it in this household. We've been all year, Jerv and I were sitting back here, we're watching our 50th game of AFL in a row and saying, get him on the fucking wing. Get him up the ground.
No, it's good though. I actually didn't know what I was missing out on it. So it's like been in the back of my mind. All like this off season, I'm like, geez, love to be up there. That's what I hope. Like, I hope eventually I can do, and then have burst in the midfield, wing. You can put me at halfback.
Well, I reckon that's what Carlton's probably got in your favour, is that you've got a bunch of blokes that could that have played in different positions and can do that. Yeah, if you want. I mean, especially with the pickups we got, like hopefully we can be a lot more versatile through mid wings, halfbacks. Even some of our, like, obviously our mids a lot of them can play half forward. So. And exciting. The boys made a lot about Zach Williams, but I reckon Fogarty is the better pickup. Well, not the better pickup, but like he's as important. Yeah. He's awesome. I remember me and you watching his highlight reel when the club put it up, and we're like, I was real happy with him. I think he can fill any role, really. Yeah. I think he'd be really good. Yeah. And he looks like he hits it pretty hard and loves to put on a bit of pressure. So I
feel like he could be one of those guys that there's always those guys that get picked up for not much and they turn into stars at their new club. Yeah. So I feel like he could be one of those.
Yeah, for sure.
Sydney used to give them players away.
Sydney for a period there, you were the team that were getting all the cheap ones and turning them into guns.
Now it's going the other way. This year, Alear.
You're not happy about Alear, are you, Hughesy?
I wasn't, because we spent all that. I don't know what the reasoning behind it is, but we spent all that time into developing. He's still 25 or something. Should be hitting straps. We played him out of position and then we get rid of him.
It's mate. It's the joys of being an AFL supporter. We can sook as much as we want about it, but ultimately they're going to make the call, aren't they? And you got a bag for them no matter what.
So you're
Mate, we've got our big fish this year. We've got Tom Hickey. That's the big fish this year.
What about Tommy Hickey? He knew he wasn't the big fish, and he was on the radio, Melrose, and I reckon you would tell me about him. You tell the story. It's pretty funny.
Oh, no, he was just saying that, he knew he wasn't going to be one of the first guys to be traded because obviously he's not the number one man. So he said that, I was just sitting there by the phone just waiting. and hoping. But yeah, no, it is interesting because you think about like not him, just like everyone in general. Like if you're a player that has requested a trade or potentially could be traded, you're sort of just sitting there for the whole week and just waiting. Because a lot of the deals don't happen until that last day.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. And yeah, for a lot of them too, usually they're on holidays probably, and they're like there's all those stories of blokes in LA trying to deal with the time difference to find out if they've made the cut or not. Yeah. Get the paperwork lodged soon enough. That's What about Hickey though? My favourite part, Maros, is they said, "Oh, where are you gonna live in Sydney? Obviously, a pretty expensive place to live in." What did he say? He's like,
he said something like,
"I want a huge dosh, so probably some shit bomb somewhere."
he said, "Oh, he's like, it's my fourth club. We've got a kid, we've got a dog." He says probably not going to be too flash.
That's gold.
That's what we love from players, though. We love that honesty. They understand. Now, boys, we're probably running out of time. Hughesy's got the essential worker, has to get down to Woolies to restock those shelves because, you're still an essential worker, mate. Even though we've had double donuts for so long now, we still need you doing your work. So we'll let you go, mate. Willow, thanks for jumping on.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks for giving us your room. We're in Willow's room at the moment because the Wi-Fi is better down here. So we had to move the little podcast studio into Willow's room.
We got some fresh Pumas in the background.
Yeah.
Product placement.
Puma, sponsor us. So now you can dig into the food that's been just shouting your name over there. Stop screaming at me.
He's just been looking at me the whole time.
Melrose, thanks for joining us again, mate. And we'll talk to you boys soon.
Easy. Cheers, boys.
See you, boys.